time towards games, particularly single-player video games which Sony felt were thriving on the PlayStation console environment. Sony recognized that at present, many players did not have as much time to commit to playing games, so the notion of activity cards was used to help give players an idea of what activities they could do in a game and how long it would take so that they could work that activity into their schedule. 96. The PlayStation 5 supports 7 Plus, 9 Now, ABC View, Abema TV, All 4, Amazon Freevee, Amazon Prime Video, Anghami, Apple Music, the Apple TV app, BBC iPlayer, Blim TV, Crackle, Crave, Crunchyroll, Curiosity Stream, DAZN, Disney Plus, MB, Foxtel Now, HBO Max, Hulu, iHeartRadio, ITVX, Join KO Sports, Mubi, My5, MyCanal, Neon, Netflix, the NFL TV app, Niconico, Now, Pandora Paramount Plus, Peacock, Plex, Pluto TV, Popcornflix, Red Bull TV, Salto, Showmax, Skygo, Spotify, Stan Star Plus, Tubi, TuneIn, TVNZ Plus, Twitch, Viaplay, Videoland, Vudu, YouTube TV, YouTube, and Yup TV, while support for other streaming services has been pledged for the future. 97, 98, 99, Sony Pictures Core Service was released on the system in 2023. The system includes support for PlayStation Now, Sony subscription-based cloud gaming service to play games from older generations of PlayStation consoles. 100, Sony's Remote Play application, available on the PlayStation 4, Windows, iOS, and Android devices, was updated just prior to the PlayStation 5's launch to allow a user to remotely play their PlayStation 5 games and these other devices over a local network. 101, Software updates. In April 2021, Sony released a new software update through which users can transfer their downloaded PS5 game to an external USB hard drive to free up space. 102, Sony announced a PlayStation 5 system software beta program in June 2021, similar to the Xbox Insider program, where signed-up users can receive early releases of planned updates to the console's software for testing prior to their release. 103, one of the first major features offered in this program was support for expanding internal storage via the M.2 port, added in the beta software path in July 2021. 51, in September 2021, Sony released a new software update offering support for a new trophy tracker control center customization, 3D audio support for built-in TV speakers, internal SSD expansion and several UX enhancements. 104, Sony introduced game trials in October 2021, starting with a limited release for UK users for Death Stranding, Director's Cut and Sackboy, A Big Adventure. Users have access to download and play the full version of the game for a fixed amount of time through these game trials, after which they would be required to buy the game to continue playing. 105, in March 2022, Sony released software update 5.00 which adds several improvements for accessibility, such as an improved screen reader with support for features like mono audio, reading notifications, allowed additional language support, and the ability to show a check mark on enabled settings. Support for voice commands was also introduced in this update for users in the United States and United Kingdom, which allows users to control their PlayStation 5 by saying "Hey, PlayStation" and then a chosen command. Support for the Ukrainian language was also added, and Game Base was enhanced with the abilities to view all friends in a new Friends tab, more easily decline friend requests, and other enhancements and updates. There were also various enhancements made to trophies, child accounts, the home screen, and other features. 106. On the 8th of March, 2023, Sony released software update 7.00, which included VR support for 1440p resolution, the ability to transfer data between PS5 consoles, support for voice chat on Discord, and support for using voice to save video clips of gameplay. At release, this is only available in English for the US and UK. 107 games. Each PlayStation 5 console comes pre-installed with Astro's Playroom, a game designed to serve as a demonstration of the DualSense controller. 108 games are not region-locked, so games purchased in any region can be played on consoles in all regions. 100 Sony announced its concurrent responsibilities of supporting the PlayStation 4 community, and embracing PlayStation 5 as a major technological advancement. In an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, Ryan stated, "We have always said that we believe in generations. We believe that when you go to all the trouble of creating a next-gen console, that it should include features and benefits that the previous generation does not include. And that, in our view, people should make games that can make the most of those features." 109. Discussing the capabilities of the DualSense controller with Jeff Keighley, General Manager Eric Lempel affirmed that Sony wants to evolve every part of the experience. But for that to happen, we can't take everybody with us from previous consoles into a next-generation experience. You need new hardware, you need new devices to experience what these developers want you to experience. 110. 111. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was highlighted as a next-generation game that is not technically possible on older hardware. Lempel assured Keighley that interest in PlayStation 4 will not end abruptly, with more to come. 110. Sony's definition of consoles as distinct generations had been widely interpreted as an era-defining shift. Tops 5 exclusive games that exploit the console's capabilities instead of releasing cross-generation games that play across both PlayStation consoles. Ryan said that there should be no disappointment as the PS5 versions take advantage of the console's advanced feature set, and initially planned that PS4 versions can be freely upgraded. Few major games such as Horizon Forbidden West are developed as concurrent releases for PS4 and PS5. 112. And Sony supports any publisher that wants to offer enhanced versions of PS4 games at no additional cost. 113, 114, 115, 116, 117. However, in May 2021, Sony announced a major shift in its approach, with previously PS5 exclusive games Gran Turismo 7 and God of War Ragnarok now planned as both PS4 and PS5 games. Game journalists believed this was a factor related to impact of the global semiconductor shortage from the COVID-19 pandemic on PlayStation 5 availability. 118. Sony initially had planned to charge PS4 users to upgrade to the PS5 version of Horizon Forbidden West when pre-orders were announced, but after negative feedback from consumers, who pointed out that Sony had previously mentioned that Horizon Forbidden West would have a free upgrade, stated that this upgrade will be free but all future PS4 to PS5 upgrades from their first-party games will be at cost, reversing course from the earlier plans. 119. Eurogama reported that Sony's certification program as of May 2020 required PS4 games submitted for certification after the 13th of July 2020 to be natively compatible with the PlayStation 5. 120. Backward compatibility. According to Hideki Nishino, Sony's senior vice president of platform planning and management, the PS5 is designed to be backward compatible with more than 99% of PS4's 4,000 plus game library playable from launch day. 121. The console is compatible with PlayStation VR. 8. Because of PS5's high-speed SSD and increased processing power, many PS4 games gain from improved loading times or gameplay speeds so that they can benefit from higher or more stable frame rates and potentially higher resolutions. 15. 122. Players can synchronize their saved game files through cloud storage or transfer them. Using a USB storage device so no progress is lost. 121. Backward compatibility is enabled in part by the similarity of hardware architecture, such as extra logic in the RDNA2 GPU that ensures compatibility with PS4's GCN-based GPU. 8. 17. Mark Cerny explained during a March 2020 presentation and later in an interview with Digital Foundry how CPU clock timing required particular attention. Though the Zen 2 CPU has an instruction set to handle the PS4's Jaguar CPU, their timings can be very different, so Sony worked closely with AMD when developing the Zen 2 CPU to more closely match the Jaguar's timings. 14. PS5 backward compatibility may exhibit errors with some PS4 games, 123, and does not include previous generations. However, some older PlayStation console games are available through the PlayStation Plus game streaming service, which is available for the PlayStation 5. 124, 125. The PlayStation 4's share menu cannot be displayed, but the PS5's create menu can be used to capture screenshots or video. 123. All compatible downloaded versions of PS4 games are visible in the library on the PS5 and available for download. The games can also be copied via USB hard drive or Wi-Fi. Save data can be copied in the same way or via the cloud storage. 126. On the 9th of October, 2020, Sony released a list of 10 PS4 games identified as being incompatible with PS5. The list has shortened since as some developers released compatibility updates for previously incompatible games. 127. As of the 16th of December, 2021, the official PlayStation website shows 6 PS4 games that remain incompatible with PS5. Afro Samurai 2, Revenge of Kuma Volume 1, Hitman Go, Definitive Edition, Just Deal With It. Robinson, The Journey, Shadwen and We Sing. 128. Reception. The PlayStation 5 was generally well received at launch, with much praise of its DualSense controller's improved haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. 129. Astro's Playroom, which comes pre-installed on every PS5 and is designed to demonstrate the controller's features, was praised, with Laptop Mag calling it deceptively cute. 130. The exclusive lineup, including Spider-Man, Miles Morales and Demon's Souls, was heavily praised, although some reviewers, such as Tech Radar, said there should have been more launch games. 131. The console's user interface was generally praised for being fast and easy to navigate. 132. Many reviewers found the console's design polarizing. CNET described the black and white scheme as clearly meant to be a sculptural conversation piece. The large size was criticized by Tom's Guide as inelegant. 133, and by others as frustrating its integration into a home entertainment center. 134. Manuel Su acknowledged the size for improving the cooling and quieting of its operation. 132. 135. The comparatively small 667 GB of usable SSD space was criticized. 134. More technical reviews, such as those by Digital Foundry, noted that features such as variable refresh rate and the advertised 8K video output mode were not present at launch. They lauded the ray tracing, SSD speed, and 120 Hz output capabilities. 135. Sales. The PlayStation 5, as with the Xbox Series X/S, was in limited supply immediately upon launch. 136. And through 2021 due to a global semiconductor shortage. 137. 138. Combined with increased demand for video game consoles due to the COVID-19 pandemic. 139. Sony expected supply to continue to be limited until at least 2022. 140. Scalpers took advantage of the shortage, attempting to sell the console for thousands of dollars. 141. Sony expanded its PlayStation Direct program to sell consoles directly to consumers within Europe in November 2021 to bypass scalpers. 142. 143. Two weeks after launch, Sony declared the largest launch in PlayStation history, surpassing PS4's 2.1 million units in its first 2 weeks in 2013. 144. During the system's first week of release in Japan, 103,901 standard consoles were sold, and 14,181 digital editions were sold, for a combined total of 118,082, making it the best-selling console in the country for that week. 145. By September 2021, Sony reported over 1 million PS5 sales in Japan. In comparison, its predecessor did not reach 1 million consoles sold until a full year after release. 146. In the UK, the PlayStation 5 was the best-selling video game console sold in the month of November. 147. In Spain, the PS5 sold over 43,000 units in the first week of release. 148. Sony reported total shipments of the PS5 through its fiscal quarter ending the 31st of December 2020 of 4.5 million units, which were similar numbers to the PS4's launch shipments. 149. 150. Total shipments of PlayStation 5 reached 7.8 million by the 31st of March 2021, surpassing the 7.6 million units that the PlayStation 4 had shipped in its first 2 quarters of release. 151. Sony reported that as of the 18th of July 2021, 10 million PS5 units had been sold through, making the PlayStation 5 their fastest-selling console unit to date. 152. 153. The company later confirmed that by the 30th of June 2021, it had shipped 10.1 million consoles, indicating that nearly every shipped console had been sold as soon as it reached the market. 154. Console shipments surpassed 13.4 million as of the 30th of September 2021. 155. The company anticipated in August it has in stock hardware to ship more than 22 million PS5 units by the end of its 2021 fiscal year in March 2022. 156. But this was revised to 15 million units in November Despite this, sales during the fiscal year 2022 were forecast to increase to 22.6 million units. 157. Bloomberg News